So today I'm going to be presenting to you on LEAF, which is Linking Environment and Farming, for those of you who might not have come across this particular acronym before. Our approach specifically to environmental farmland management and the experience that we are bringing to the ELMS design process. Given that we are about a whole farm approach that integrates all elements of an agroecosystem, I really hope this also finds resonance with the foresters, woodsmen, conservationists, ecologists, food processors, community workers and educationalists among you. So my role at LEAF is as ELMS project coordinator, giving me the great privilege of looking forwards into and hopefully helping to shape the future of UK land management, while also building on 29 years of experience in the delivery of environmental land management and associated public goods by LEAF farmers. Although I know that some of you are old friends and colleagues of LEAF, some of you might never have heard of us. Others of you might have encountered or worked with us in one area without realising what else we do. So I'm going to briefly explain here what we do, how we do it, and what we see it as bringing to the future of UK land management. I've titled this talk Integrating Resilience, as this invaluable attribute is what I see LEAF's work bringing to the systems it works within. Our remit is, and always has been, to deliver more sustainable food and farming by working with farmers, the food industry, scientists and consumers to inspire and enable farming that is prosperous, enriches the environment and engages local communities. The clue's in the name. By linking a diverse and functioning environment to agricultural productivity, we highlight and enhance the interdependence of each, making for a system that is more than the sum of its parts. We do this through three main pillars of work: facilitating knowledge exchange and generation, public engagement and education, and developing market opportunities for sustainably farmed crops. The overriding principle that is promoted, supported and advanced by LEAF in every area of our work is Integrated Farm Management, or IFM, encompassing 9 interrelated areas of farm management: soil health and fertility, crop health and protection, animal husbandry, water management, energy efficiency, pollution control and byproduct management, organisation and planning, landscape and nature conservation, and community engagement. Tenets of this systems thinking include that it is site-specific, no one size fits all, that it entails continuous improvement and is an ongoing process, even the best can get better, and that it is a whole farm approach, a framework and a way of thinking that promotes best practice across all areas and enterprises of a farm. Attention to detail, giving incremental but integrated improvements to the triple bottom line to collectively deliver tangible economic, environmental and social benefits across the farmed landscape. Looking at these areas in more detail is firstly, knowledge generation and exchange takes place through our network of 39 as of this morning, and very soon to be 40, demonstration farms, which showcase IFM in action across sectors. The network also consists of 11 affiliated innovation centres made up of a range of research establishments which underpin the continuous improvement with ongoing research into relevant areas of the agricultural sciences. I think this is a pretty cool list personally. We have partnered in joint research projects in areas including crop diversification, sustainable intensification, integrated pest management, food waste reduction, and of course the ELMS tests and trials programme. The public engagement that LEAF might be most familiar to you through is the annual LEAF Open Farm Sunday event, which we've managed since its inception in 2006. Over 1,600 farmers across the UK have opened their gates and welcomed over 2.5 million people onto farms for one summer Sunday each year, facilitating great advances in public understanding of the nitty-gritty of food production. The fact that farm visits are off the cards this June hasn't put us off. The 7th of June will instead see an online schedule of live interviews and articles from farms across the UK, covering every aspect of the industry, and with the physical event itself currently postponed until the 20th of September. LEAF Education acts as a catalyst and facilitator for the connection of working farmers directly with classrooms, instigating the understanding and communication critical to future relations between producers and consumers on every level. A team of regional education consultants delivers accredited training for farmers and teachers in the provision of high-quality educational farm visits through the CVAS qualification. Through partnerships that provide a wealth of online resources such as Countryside Classroom and Farmer Time, which uses FaceTime as a platform for direct communication between farm and school, teachers are supported to confidently deliver a positive agricultural agenda against the required curriculum milestones. Check out Farming Fortnights, running from Monday the 1st to the 12th of June, so that's starting next week, on social media in partnership with Brockwell College in Kent. This was developed as a response to teenager-focused research in 2018. The different hashtags themed daily, from Mowing Monday, Woolly Wednesday, Feathered Friday, but really focusing on careers and opportunities across the spectrum of the farming sectors. Thirdly, and crucially for the thriving and productive sector that we all seek, developing market opportunities. We manage the Leaf Marque Assurance Scheme, a robust standard represented by a logo that hopefully you may well recognise, certifying produce that's been grown by farmers who are committed to environmental improvement. It's accredited by ISEAL and independently inspected. Leaf Marque producers are audited annually against a set of control points that are regularly reviewed to reflect best practice in each and every area of IFM. Leaf Marque producers hold earned recognition status with the Environment Agency, being less likely to undergo inspection as the risk their farming poses to the environment is shown to be reduced. I think these are a pretty good set of stats myself. 43% of fruit and veg grown in the UK in 2019 was Leaf Marque certified, and the standard covers over 358,000 hectares of crop across 936 businesses in 27 countries. The global nature of this standard, we believe, answers a critical need in providing a mechanism whereby the high environmental and welfare standards that are valued on UK farms can be transparently matched in imported equivalents to facilitate parity of responsible trade. A recent success for Leaf Marque is that the states of Jersey have fully adopted Leaf Marque as their agri-environmental standard. Jersey is now the first fully Leaf Marque island in the world. All milk produced on Jersey is Leaf Marque certified, and the Jersey Royal Potato Company launched this very morning as our first international demonstration farm with a fitting online fanfare. For those of you interested in the conversation surrounding certification, and there's many for those of you who are into that kind of thing, Leaf will be hosting a lunchtime roundtable discussion as part of the Land Up series, the ongoing lunchtime roundtable series, looking at how Leaf Marque and other assurance schemes have had to be nimble to adapt to coronavirus and the changes in the food supply chain while still delivering robust and credible sustainably farmed produce. How we take this forward into future approaches to risk-based assurance, encouraging continual improvement, will be explored. Caroline Drummond, our Chief Executive, will be chairing conversation between a range of actors in the assurance space, as farmers, advisors and schemes themselves. Watch this space for more information. We also believe that Leaf Marque has an important role to play in the future of the ELMS scheme, and I'll explain more about our involvement in this process. So, our participation in the ELMS Tests and Trials programme and the associated stakeholder engagement, that's the main focus of my role at Leaf, and it touches on all three pillars of work through 4 trials. The opportunity this affords us to contribute to the evolution of this next phase of the interdependent relationship between land managers and the majority, actually, of the population who occupy different roles in the same economic nation is one that we really appreciate. The conversation is not always an easy one, of course, with diverse agendas and entrenched expectations on all sides, but it is one that's happening, and it's happening fast, and Leaf is embracing the opportunity to be part of it. It's an opportunity I'm sure you'd agree that none of us can afford to miss. As, among other things, the representatives of a network of farmers who've been working within a management framework which is already delivering outcomes that clearly reflect the stated public goods, we are able to offer the benefit of experience in transition towards farming systems that work for businesses without comprising the resilience of the wider agroecological networks that they depend on. The integration of all aspects of land management to give a synthesis of outcomes that are more than the sum of their parts places IFM and leaf farmers working knowledge of it firmly in the forefront of positive change, however this is ultimately packaged in terms of policy and finance. For instance, as IFM is a categorically whole farm approach and leaf marked businesses are audited on this level, they have extensive experience of putting together what are essentially a form of land management plans. This key aspect of ELMS, intended to be the mechanism by which farms lay out what public goods they are able to deliver and present the outcomes of their management decisions, is still under design, and the demonstration farm network is contributing their experience to this through 2 of our trials. The first of these, which concluded in February, used the trial of a biodiversity monitoring app as a platform for discussion of the appropriateness of apps for self-assessment of public goods delivery, and indeed of self-assessment itself for outcomes-based payment. If anybody's interested in reading it, contact me and I'll happily let you have a copy of the final report. The second is gathering together the tools and knowledge exchange platforms that support demonstration farmers in modelling, monitoring, management and mapping for planning and verifying the whole farm delivery of demonstration standard IFM and associated public goods. These include the Leaf Sustainable Farming Review, an annual self-assessment tool addressing each area used by all leaf farmers, and more. By building on their collective knowledge and insight alongside that of other established farming systems, which address sustainability issues that ELM is approaching afresh, the LMP could save itself years of rocky reinvention of the wheel to the benefit of all. Leaf Education is running a trial which builds on its experience of connecting schools and farmers through evaluating the established CVAS training programme for delivery of the public good of engagement and education. Our 4th and largest trial is exploring the role of advice in helping land managers move towards leaf mark assurance as a proxy for environmental enhancement of farm practice. 60 farms are engaged in this trial, representing a full sectoral and geographical spread across the whole land, each being supported by one of 3 training, advice and support packages for which outcomes will be compared in the new year. In addition to offering our experience and findings into the mix, however, and indeed learning from those of our colleagues across the Test and Trials programme, there is another aspect to our engagement with the ELMS design process which will be familiar to many of you here who have spent decades and indeed whole careers working towards environmental consideration in all land management contexts. Improvement of outcomes is of course vital and timely across the piece, but recognition of the work already taken and systems put in place by farmers and land managers who have pioneered and progressed regenerative agricultural systems such as IFM is also prescient. Highlighting the positive contribution of good agriculture to a thriving and productive agro-ecosystem has been Leaf's work for nearly 30 years, and we believe that this exciting new era of policy change widens and broadens participation in this conversation. We look forward to progressing this conversation together with both our existing expanding network and yourselves, our colleagues across the diverse sector that is land management. There's a lot we don't know about what's coming next, but we do know that the resilience inherent to well-integrated systems has never been more important than now. Whatever ELMS look like, we believe farmers who are working to address the triple bottom line of economic, social and environmental metrics will, as ever, be best placed to thrive alongside the land. Thank you, and please feel free to ask questions.